story, but a lot of y'all not familiar with the success part of it. Okay, so we're going to watch this the first. We won't watch the success story first. We'll watch this video first, where she and the cop got into it, and then we watch her celebrating story, right? Getting free from the fine. Okay.
Over the city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand. Being pulled over the city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand.
So you want to just call this a day?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand up manipulating the phone.
Okay, so
Way being pulled over the city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand.
So you want to just call this a day?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand up manipulating.
You just said my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You had a hand up. The right hand. I saw you manipulate.
So you didn't.
With the right hand, perhaps not, right? But
You said you didn't see me with my right hand.
So are you
saying that you saw me with my right hand?
I know what I just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone in your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in your hand?
I did not.
Hand to God, you didn't have a phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
The other hand to God, you didn't have a phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
Cool. You have your driver's license, registration,
yes,
and insurance? Way being pulled over the city of Lake Worth today.
I never knew that she'd agreed to put her hands in the air. But this cop, he's some belligerent a-hole, man.
I woke up this morning, was born now in Kingston and leaving Jamaica abroad, not to England. This is my page, and the first post here you see in Little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a keep a axe off. In a frag of me dog them fully advanced. Black money, black card, rich like who. Little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a keep a axe off. In a frag of me dog them fully advanced. Excellent process. Yeah. One bag of money. Yard one a foreign. Team little bird can't team some stay same way like me daddy. Black money, black card, rich like who. Little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a cap a axe off. In a frag of me dog them fully advanced. Black money, black card, rich like who. Little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a cap a axe off. In a frag of me dog them fully advanced. We advance academically and professionally, extraterrestrially and even medically. Sell we to everybody, take the molly, super fragically, lesbially, sexually, get the dolly ben reality. In every alley, genitally make Beverly see. Up I do nally, they be claring that them off me. No go tell Rivali, anti-valley no mediocrity. Black magic, watch fraud. Get a black puss with a black dog. A mad sus, when mad dog. I they left a bad push with a cash card. Black money, black card, rich like who. Little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a cap a axe off. In a frag of me dogs them fully advanced. Black money, black card, rich like who. Little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a cap a axe off. In a frag of me dogs them fully advanced. Yes, that's right there. You see me? Tough a lie, bad.
Yeah, people, it's crazy. There's so much things in the news. I don't know where to start. Well, I never knew. But I've seen this from the other day and I said, okay, this looks like a good place to start, even though all of this has ended now. Because this, I wouldn't say corrupt, but probably overzealous. This cop here, man. Let's go up here, man. This cop here. Hold on, guys. Okay, so this cop is a Florida cop, right? He pulls over this woman you're seeing on your screen and accuses her of holding her phone in her right hand, which she does not have a full right arm or right hand. You know what I mean? Yeah, because it seems half of our arm is amputated on the right side. You know what I mean? Our right arm, half of it seemed to be amputated, right? Now, before we play this video, we have to read out some of these caption, right? And as I said, she's free from the case because the cop had charged her, or she had to go to court. So let us find out how everything had went. Okay? Now, this post is from the Hollywood Unlocked, ran by Jason Lee. We spoke about him before on this channel here with the Vybz Kartel post. Shout out to Jason Lee. He has been coming a very far way, been through a lot. We must appreciate his works, you know what I mean? So we could get it to share over here and make content from it and break it down. Now, the Hollywood Unlocked staff, Deja Monet, right? I believe Deja Monet is the one responsible for this post here. However, let's get into the meat of the matter, shall we? Okay, so after body cam footage captured the moment a Floridian woman with one arm was accused of using her phone while driving by the police officer. He accused her. Now, she's now given an update. Yes, she gave us an update. The initial incident, right, prior to the update she's given us, right? The initial incident that had occurred in February when Kathleen Thomas, her name is Kathleen Thomas, the woman in the video, right? Her name is Kathleen Thomas. Now, in February, when Kathleen Thomas was pulled over by traffic police on a highway near Miami, the officer accused Thomas, that's Kathleen Thomas, because Thomas, to just say Thomas sounds too masculine, like masculine, you know what I mean? Yeah, so the officer accused Kathleen Thomas of being a distracted driver, right? Claiming she was holding her phone in her right hand. Seconds later, Miss Thomas held up her arm to reveal that her right forearm and hand had been removed. Oh my goodness. The officer must have been ashamed. I remember his facial expression. No, not his facial expression. No. We heard his reaction, and you could tell that he is embarrassing. So obviously not. Yeah, let's go back over that. So, yeah. Let's get back to this paragraph from the top. Okay? Because we want everyone undivided attention. Okay? So we're going to read all the way up here again. You get me? All this we're going to read again. So now it says that the officer accused Miss Thomas of being a distracted driver, claiming she was holding her phone in her right hand. But seconds later, Miss Thomas, Kathleen Thomas that is, held up her arm to reveal that her right forearm and hand had been removed. So obviously not, she told the officer. He replied now, I saw you manipulate with a hand, and proceeded to ask her whether or not she had been holding her phone. He also asked her to hand to God swear that she was not using her phone while driving. But this he's corrupt. He is so corrupt. He is a child. And I spoke about this all the while, about adults acting like child, failing to mature, especially these cops and people in position where they need to be held accountable, for their failure to behave professional. And people rely on their professional conducting their work. You know what I mean? People rely on them for them to be professional. And many of them keep failing and degrading themselves, proving that they're immature, some childish sack of crap. You know what I mean? Just the other day, we have a police officer there in New York, or in America, I should say, that was forcing his dog. I think he was some lawyer. He was probably a judge. He was some law profession of law, you know what I mean? Whether judge or lawyer. And this man who holds such a high position within the system, or the judiciary system, the judicial system, right? This man, right? He was Caucasian, right? And his wife, he's married. His wife found out that he's been forcing his dog to do him estual favors when she's not there. And they had placed video camera or CCTV camera all over their house to capture what was it they said that was a bother to them at their house, why they chose to install cameras, right? But yet the camera was celebrated for capturing the husband act with his dog, and the husband is the one who install the camera, like him and his wife. They both install and chose to install cameras, and he allowed what he had installed to capture him and his dog, right? So his wife had exposed him and called the police. The dogs look so humiliated and shameful in the camera because the dog knows what is going on. The dog is, I feel so sorry for the dog and the wife too, because that must have been sad. I feel sorry for the guy too. I mean, like, damn. I mean, a lot of us are suffering from mental illness. And I don't know if it's the food. Well, for sure, the food contributes to that. And a lot that has been going on in the system. A lot that we have been, enduring. All the unfair biasness, unscrupulous, the corona and all these things we're coming out of. It's crazy. We have lost Michael Jackson. We have lost Prince. We have lost so many. Give God thanks that Vybz Kartel is free, because without him, it would have continuously seemed to be the same drought, dry, creed, and, classless, tasteless world and society it would be seemingly, that we'd be living in. So thank God for Vybz Kartel. Y'all seen him. He ripped up the Cayman Islands last night with Nelly, the rapper Nelly. It was awesome. I don't see them sharing much clip from Nelly performance, but eventually we'll see soon. Now let's get black into this, right? So this policeman told the driver, the Catherine Thomas, to swear and to hold her hand in the air. This officer should be fired immediately, and I hope he loses his job and have to pay. And he loses pension and everything. Okay? Now, Miss Kathleen Thomas, the story continues to read that Miss Kathleen Thomas, again, stated that she was not using her phone. So no pinky swear or swear to God with hand in the air type shit. She was never condoning to that. Right? And the officer then asked her to see her driver's license, right? She was later issued a $116 distracted driving citation. Damn, that cop is I hope he loses his job. I don't want to say I hope he loses his life, but that's damn about right. You know what I'm saying? Now, however, the charges were dismissed at the request of the Palm Beach County Sheriff Office. Okay, so his fellow officers, his fellow mate, his fellow co-workers, right, in the field, realized that he's such a dumb butt that, they've all they were dismissed. All those all that fine he gave her for $116 were dismissed at the request, right, of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, right? So now we have to go into the video and see how it goes. I know a lot of y'all is familiar with the story, but a lot of y'all are not familiar with the success part of it. Okay, so we're going to watch this the first. We won't watch the success story first. We'll watch this video first, where she and the cop got into it, and then we watch her celebrating story, right? Getting free from the fine. Okay?
Over the city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand. Being pulled over, the city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand.
So you want to just call this a day?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand up manipulating the phone.
Okay, so
Way being pulled over, the city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand.
So you want to just call this a day?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand up manipulating.
You just
the
said
phone.
my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You
So
had a
you
hand
didn't.
up. The right hand. I saw you
So you
manipulate
didn't.
with the right hand, perhaps not, right? But I
You
saw
said
you.
you didn't see me with my right
Okay,
hand.
so are you
saying that you saw me with my
I know
right
what
hand?
I just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone on your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in your
I did
hand.
not.
Hand to God, you didn't have a phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
The other hand to God, you don't have a phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
Cool. You have your driver's license, registration,
Yes,
and insurance. Way being pulled over, the city of Lake Worth today.
I never knew that she'd agreed to put her hands in the air. But this cop, he is he's some belligerent a-hole, man. Because now I wanted to believe him that he actually thought, right? Because we can think that we see things, because this world is blurry sometimes. You know, things appear like things seems to be like things sometimes, you know what I mean? So I would love to give the officer the right, you know, and try to justify on his side, because we all should be able to, you know, learn how to view things from both aspects, you know. So in the defense of the officer first, before we defend the accused, right? So in the defense of the officer, let's say he saw her have a phone, right? The fact that she has an amputated arm, right? He should have exercised some grace for that, right? And that is why our mind function like that. When we actually think we see certain things, or even if we do, because a lot of times we catch people red-handed, but they're so slick that they're saying no, whatever, and they work some magic trick that have you like, oh, I thought I caught them. You know what I mean? And you now wonder if what you're seeing was actually what you had seen. You know what I mean? Yeah. So sometimes you just got to sometimes you just got to be willing to accept the loss, even when you strongly feel as if you won or have the right, because you believe what you had seen, right? Because this woman, she could have, might have, or may have some tricks, right? Because we know that a lot of people that live with disabilities, right? They have a lot of tricks up them sleeves, right? On how to get by their daily, you know, routine. Like, you'd be surprised knowing some of these people that faces these challenges of disabilities. They have learned a lot of tactics, a lot of craft, a lot of skills that your mind can't seem to wrap around or to find out how, unless you know them personally and seen them doing the trick. Like, there's a story about a one-armed man here in Jamaica, right, who was accused of breaking and entering a wholesale where it's stocked with all type of goodies like food, you know, food that you would like to buy in the case of a storm, like, you know, canned food. These wholesale variety store, they sell a lot of canned food here in Jamaica. So there was a one-armed guy who was accused of breaking in and entering and stealing a big whole crocus bag. You know what is a crocus bag? What Jamaicans call crocus bag? If I had a crocus bag here, I would have shown you what a crocus bag is. But it's actually those large, massive, the largest bags and package that they have rice and flour in. Those big, large bags that is like 4 feet off the ground. That's high. It's like 4 feet high off the ground with rice in it and those things, flour. Those bags are what we call crocus bag here in Jamaica, right? And I had a song where I was saying, I'm sure you're familiar with the name Dodos, right? So I had a song that I was saying that it's called More Woman. So I was saying, more woman, more woman, more woman. Slim as or fat in every be still adore woman, more woman, more woman, more woman. You know what I mean? And once I got into the verse, I was like, girl see me on the street, say she want off cuss mad. Say she want a man we crosser than no dodos bad. Punish she flee, but I me make she a go cuss God. Cause when me done her hole bigger than a crocus bag. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I had a song with all them word play and it was crazy. So the one-armed guy who was accused of stealing the crocus bag of flour and breaking and entering into the wholesale that stocked these items, right? When the one-armed guy went to court, the judge had said to him, yeah, so while the one-armed guy was in court and accused of stealing a whole bag of flour, the crocus bag of flour, right? Now, the judge and the person who had accused the one-armed guy of stealing a whole crocus bag of flour, right? The judge had made an agreement with the accuser, right? The person who had accused the one-armed guy. Now, the agreement and the deal that the judge had made with the accuser who accused the one-armed guy, the deal was that if the accuser failed to prove that the one-armed guy here in Jamaica, if the accuser failed to prove that the one-armed guy here in Jamaica had actually steal or stolen the crocus bag, the big crocus bag of flour, right? If the accuser had failed to prove that the one-armed guy actually had stole the big, large crocus bag of flour, then the court and the accuser agreed that the one-armed guy would actually get to take home a bag, right? A large crocus bag of flour that they have there in the court, because they had to bring one in the court. And they said that this one-armed guy here, you're saying stole this big bag of flour and he break and entering in your wholesale store where you sell these food items. And, you know, so they're saying, okay, when the judge and the people there all looked at the one-armed guy, they're like, no, that's impossible. This one-armed guy could never, right? And the accuser failed to prove that the one-armed guy would actually take it because he never had him on camera, nothing, right? So he failed to prove that the one-armed guy had stolen the large crocus bag of flour. But up until the judge said that, hey, you're free to go and you can take this other bag of crocus bag of flour here with you. That's what the judge told the one-armed man, that he could take the large crocus bag of flour home with him for being wrongfully accused. And the one-armed guy said, oh, thank you, judge, thank you. And he used his one arm and he put it on his shoulder and, you know, stepped out the courtroom until they had to call him back. You know, and they're like, no, you actually possess the skill of stealing these large bags of flour. You know what I'm saying? The crocus bag of flour. So as I said, the whole point is that you can't be thinking that people with disabilities, they don't have ways and means of how to get around, living their life just like how we are, without that aren't facing those challenges that they're facing. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised to know that she could have her phone and use it in that very same half arm that she got. We have them in Jamaica. They hold their phone like this, with their half arm. For some, not all. It depends on how their arm is. And some have developed some skin, So yeah, it's but that's in the defense of the officer. But as I said, if the officer had a great deal of intelligence and or a great love and passion inside his heart, then he would never take that approach. And now it just leaves me to believe that this cop here is just another dirty cop who is always just out seeking to play some ticket and to get someone arrested. Because you do have cops that they just go out their way to get unlawful arrests, unlawful ticket, unlawful stops. They do everything unlawful, right? Because they want the numbers. They want the numbers to go up with the amount of arrests, the amount of people they unalive, the amount of ticket they deliver. So this proves to me that this is one of those cops. He had already had the intention in his mind before this car or vehicle had came to an halt, before even the windows were wind down for him to see who is behind the wheel. This officer had already intended on doing dirt if he never found anything concrete. Because that's what they do. They're like, okay, if we don't see anything concrete, then we are going to stick something on them unlawfully or stupidly, some stupid charge. You know what I mean? And you can tell that this officer was embarrassed because she possesses more of a motor mouth more than him. Because you could tell that this officer here, right, he's got this motor mouth and he uses it as a mean of intimidation. And cops like him, when they talk that fast, it gets people to say things like what they don't mean. It get them confused because when he's talking that fast, and it could get you a bit off track with your communication, and the cops may use that against you and say, why are you speaking like you're nervous? But they're talking so fast that you're fighting hard to keep up with what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's one tactics that these corrupt cops have and use and will use against you, with their speedy motor mouth. But thank be to God, this woman, her brain is like Andrew Tate. You know Andrew Tate talk fast? Yeah, they're way better than this cop. So this cop, his own tricks work against him. You know what I mean? Instead of for him. Yeah, Andrew Tate could speak very fast because their brain are very fast. They compose the words very fast, because we have to think of our thought up of the words before we say them. So these people like Andrew Tate, their brain work on a motor and their mouth communicate as one. The timing over the years, because I've suffered from that, trying to catch the right timing when your brain have the words but your mouth is failing to say it, because your mind also have a whole sentence, not just one word, but that you want to remember this particular word that's in the sentence, right? So it could throw you off, just as how the cop talk fast and could throw you off because you're focusing on one thing at a time while he's just reeling out things for you to do. Get your papers out, get this, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I think we should play this again and see how she embarrassed him, right? And then we move on to the celebratory part where she got all the fine cleared, you know what I mean? And she came out and did a video telling the world that all is well, because it went viral. This went viral, you know what I'm saying? So let's play this again from top. Hold on.
Okay, so we had this.
Why you being pulled over? The city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I saw you
So
with the phone in your
obviously
hand.
not. So you want to just call this a day?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand
You
manipulated.
just said my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You
So
had a
you
hand
didn't.
out. The right hand. I saw you
So you
manipulate.
didn't.
With the right hand, perhaps not, right? But I
You
saw
said
you.
you didn't see me with my right
Okay,
hand.
so are you
You're
saying-
saying that you saw me with my
I know
right
what I
hand.
just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone on your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in
I
your
did
hand.
not.
Hand to God, you didn't have a phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
The other hand to God, you didn't have a phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
Cool. You have your driver's license, registration,
Yes, I
insurance
do.
with you. You pulled over the city of Lake Worth today. We're doing.
She really disgraced him and she styled him wicked. She was like, you want to call this a day? Because he should call this a day. But he wants to lead, he wants to be led by his ego so bad. And she just carried him down the path further and further to leave him down there. And he was so butthurt by that, that he had to charge her some fee or some fine, right? Because she lost him in the debate, in the argument. And he is very ashamed. And all of this is embarrassing. Shout out to Drake, the Iceman. Shout out to Jay-Z, the Nice Man. Shout out to all them cats, them rappers, them traps. And my God, Vybz Kartel. Hey. Yeah, so she actually cooked him alive. She grilled him, you know, like a child. Look, like a children. Oh, so let's go to the first video, okay?
So apparently.
Hold on.
Okay, so we had court this morning and dismissed. So apparently it was dismissed over the weekend. Yesterday night when I went and checked the time to make sure that I was going to be there on time, all that jazz, it showed dismissed, but I am not one for taking a chance. So I went ahead and went to court this morning and got a handy dandy paper that says dismissed. And you guys, I cannot make up the reason behind why it was dismissed. It says lack of evidence.
Yeah.
Bruh, we knew that already. Okay? Okay, so we had court this morning and...
Yeah, we knew that already. These cops are so dumb. The citizens know the law more than the cops do. And these cops are led by their ego. They're evil. And the department fails to flush them out. The department failed to flush them out. You know why? Because they want y'all to retaliate. They want y'all to end in the grave and in the prison. So they like these cops. Because I don't see nothing in this story where this cop was punished. And he should have been punished for abusing and taking advantage, and I will say exploit, the nice lady. You know, just with her ponytail a bit taller, she would be the ideal adult stage of Pippi Longstocking, you know? If her ponytail was all this tall, come down here like Pippi Longstocking, should be the mature, grown Pippi Longstocking we used to watch black in the days. Yeah, she's a nice lady, you can tell. And she looks very hardworking, you can tell. And you can tell that she doesn't really, I don't see any children with her, you know? As either, I don't see her having a husband either. You know, she may be in a relationship that's not too serious, or I think she may be single. I'm seeing more where she's single, you know what I'm saying? And I wish if I was there to comfort her and to enjoy her victory, you know what I'm saying? And have some fun with her, and allow her to have some fun with me. Yeah. So it says Florida woman with one arm who was stopped by police reveal her case was dismissed. Swipe to the left. Swipe to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross. What is this that I drew? This is like London Bridge. No, but she looks like she's from Australia. I think the universe is trying to tell me something about London Bridge. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my dear lady. No, but this is the Jamaica flag. This right here is the Jamaica flag. No, this is the World Cup. This, yes, the universe is telling me something, guys. The universe just had me draw this. This is a goal post and a net. This is a goal bar, right? Something about FIFA. The universe is telling me something about FIFA. Okay, so who is the number one footballer we have now? Ronaldo, right? Because Messi have retired. So the universe want me to tell y'all, be careful of Ronaldo and the football this year. They may have been way more important things that y'all need to be focusing on instead of Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, and the FIFA football. I'm telling you, this is how the universe works. I've mastered how it communicates with me. And that is why I started my channel, to tell the truth and to educate y'all and to show y'all that how to read the signs and the wonders of the time, because that is what the wise men once used to know the future. And to know the past, know the future. If you don't know your past, you won't know your future. You know what I'm saying? So the wise men once relied on the power of the universe, the signs, the wonders, and the time. You know, the dreams, the everything. Everything from what someone said, you know, to why they say it. You know, there's many ways the earth reveal things to us. And this is one way. It allows me to draw the goalpost. So be careful of the FIFA, guys. Don't get caught up. Okay? We're going to end this here. And we have to end this here. It's lunch.